principles here is, they say that we're justified by faith, saved by faith.
Okay.
And the question I have is, well, how do you grow your faith? Does anybody have any idea? I want feedback today because this is going to be, that's just short, so we have time here to put a little bit of feedback.
Read the word.
Yeah. Speak the word, step out on what you read and spoken.
Step out on it, yeah,
Like-
that's,
Yeah, speak it out and then just do it.
yeah, that's part of it, yeah. We all know that faith is an action word, right?
Oh, that's mine.
That's what we've been taught. One of the things that you do is, that when you're trying to build your faith, you don't find it by looking just for faith, right? And it's not by asking for more faith per se. There's a thing involved here. Being pious does not mean you're walking by faith. Being religious doesn't mean you're walking by faith. What is the definition of pious? Let's look that up real briefly here.
Is this pumpkin pious or?
Pumpkin pious.
It was the right answer.
Pecan pious?
The adjective is devoutly religious. That's not going to save you. One of the definitions here, it's making a hypocritical display of virtue. That's piety.
Like the Pharisees.
See, right, like, they had all these rules, people they didn't make them for themselves, they made them for everyone else to follow. I was researching this, and a comment I heard that I thought was so true is a lot of God's children are not friends of God. See, to be a friend of God, you have to have faith, right? Jesus says, if you love me, you'll obey me. And what about works? What do we know about works? Is works required?
It's required, but it's not gonna get you to
Yep,
heaven.
exactly. Faith without works is dead. So if you have faith, you have works. If you don't have works, where's your faith?
Well, you should have said faith's like a servant, put it to work. Use it.
In James chapter 2:14 it says, "What does it profit, my brethren, if someone says he has faith but does not have works? Can faith save him? If a brother or sister is naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you says to them, 'Depart in peace, be warmed and filled,' but you do not give them the things which are needed for the body, what does it profit?" And we've done that with Africa. May God bless them with all they need. Big deal. Who cares? Yes.
Thoughts and prayers to your family.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers to your family. Big deal. What are you doing for them?
That's all Facebook posts is like, are you actually praying? Are you actually thinking about
Mhm.
that?
So, what does that profit? Thus, also faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. But someone will say, "You have faith and I have works. Show me your faith without your works, and I will show you my faith by my works." You believe that there is one God, you do well. Even the demons believe and tremble. But do you want to know, O foolish man, that faith without works is dead? Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he offered Isaac his son on the altar? Do you not see that faith was working together with his works, and by works faith was made perfect? Abraham went and did something. We can't sit on our duff and say, "Look how faithful I am. I go to church every day." That going to church every day or every week is not a sign of your faith. It's a sign of maybe a duty you're fulfilling, or maybe a minimum requirement so you can learn, or it's a little bit of an agreement that you're going to obey God by not forsaking the assembly. But it's not the complete picture. It's just a very, very tiny part. So if you want more faith, you got to do more works. And often, faith is built by giving you a trial, which forces you to do certain works. It's not just bestowed upon you by fiat, by there you go, there's more faith. No, it's you want more faith, you're going to be given a trial. You're going to be given a job to do to see if you do it. Once you're successful, you have the faith. The scripture was fulfilled which says, Abraham believed God and it was accounted him for righteousness, and he was called a friend of God. Then you see that a man is justified by works and not by faith only. Now this is an interesting story. Remember Rahab in the town of Jericho? And the spies infiltrated, and where did the spies go from Israel? They went to Rahab's house. They went to the red light district. They went somewhere where they figured the authorities would be least likely to go searching for them. Right? How, they were lying low. And this is why we can't judge people. God sees us in a completely different light than what we see each other as. So here he is, you got this prostitute, this super easy lady, right? And the authorities show up and they're asking her, are there Israelites here in your house? Now here's a question for you. Is it okay to lie? Anybody? Is it okay to lie? Because if she said yes and didn't lie, she would have sold out the Israelites. They would have been captured and there would have been problems. But she did lie, right? She was faced with two potential lies. Two sins, we'll say. If she sold out the people of God, she would have been raising her hand against the anointed of God if she didn't lie. But if she lied, she was saving lives and they escaped out the back, right? So when you're confronted with two sins, if either choice is a sin, you got to make the choice where God gets the glory. Even if that involves a lie. She lied. Right? Did she not lie?
Yeah.
She lied. But she said, and look at the legacy that she has for herself now. She's recognized by God throughout history and mentioned in books. Just by that one act, she told the authorities to go pound sand, she helped the guys escape, and she saved her whole family in all of that. The spies told her, because you've done this, your work, gather your family, you and everybody in your house will be spared. And when the walls of Jericho came down, what part of the wall was still standing?
Rahab's.
The area where Rahab's house was attached to the wall, that was the part that was still standing. She saved the lives of her whole family by protecting men of God, even if it involved lying. But she had faith in God because she performed works. She worked in favor of God's people, in favor of God. That is a faith. And God changed her life. God changed her destiny. She went from prostitute to this woman of the night, the mistress of the house, to a revered woman of faith. So that's what we can't judge people. We can't claim we have faith without works. What would we have done in that situation? Would we have been afraid of the authorities? And times are coming again where they're going to be going on your door. What are you going to do?
And yeah, she didn't have to be perfect.
She wasn't, and you know what else is really interesting? You know what else is interesting about her? Apparently she married an architect in Israel, a well-known architect. I got a little more research to do on that part because the story is intriguing. And if you look through Jesus' lineage, who is in his family tree? Rahab. Right? So if she didn't do what she did, that lineage would have been cut off there. And Jesus would have to come through different lineage, but because her genetics are involved there. So the basic question is how do you grow your faith? By getting out and doing the work of God. God says, if you don't work, you don't eat. Well, this is that work on the spiritual level. You got to get out and do the work. If you want to partake of the supper, if you want to eat, it's very simple, clean, laid out. Religiosity doesn't get you there. You gotta have the works to show that your faith is alive. Someone can tell me they have faith, but until I see that works, I'm gonna call them a liar. You know, prove it. Prove to me you have faith. And you do that by the works that you perform for the kingdom. So, that's what I have for you.